so this is probably, I think, one of my more ambitious kind of presets. The idea was that I wanted to set up a preset which had kind of a drum that I could loop with, and that would be what you would have seen in the intro. So let's just get into what's going on. So I guess at first, first look, I guess it looks probably kind of normal. You've got an amp, an EQ, a cab, and that's going into a delay and some other stuff. So what's important is down here. Here we've got a 3-note generator, pitch and synth. So if I unbypass it, this is what this is doing. So we've got the octave set really low, so we've got a C at 0 here, all sine waves. We've got an E at the 1 octave, and then 2 octaves down we've got another C. I guess you could experiment with changing those notes around, but that's all that's doing. So that's also assigned to this drum button. That's what I started off with. You'll notice also over here that this input, instead of being, so by default I think it would be, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. This split here would normally come off like this by default. So I've just selected that split, and then you use the joystick down, and that means that when I play guitar it doesn't go into this particular line. That's kind of an important aspect of this, otherwise you get things bleeding into the drum sound. So I wanted to keep this line separate altogether, and then it feeds in at the end into the looper. So then this particular block here is the Asheville pattern. If you've not tried this out, it's kind of a, I think it's a Moog, or Moog, however you say it. It's part of one of their pedals, or group of pedals that they brought out. I'll probably flash it up on the screen now, but essentially it's a step filter, and I've got that synced to tempo, obviously, and then there's this certain amount of patterns that you could try. The one that I found worked quite well, I think, was breakbeat, and then I've got the envelope set quite low, down to 1.7, and the voice I've changed to bass. Mix is at 100%. The output you could change just for level, and drive, and all of these things I think are set to where they are by default, so you don't need to touch any of those if you don't want to. And then if you press bypass on this, you've got that beat now. It's basically a halftime beat with these particular settings. Then I've got an EQ here. Just to tame some of the low end so that it's not clipping. That goes into a looper. So 6-switch looper. So here's how I'd record the drum part. So you press drums and that will start the beat going. 1. Oh, yeah, then I want to stop that overdubbing. And then press drums. And then you're just looping as normal. So let me just add some stuff in. So we've got looping as normal here, and then I've got this retro reel if you want to turn it into like a Chase Bliss blooper kind of tone. Just really love the way that that kind of works. And then the amp IR and this stuff is going into this path here. I've got a reverb here, the looper and the retro reel at the very end, a beat chop trem here, which I might change the settings on. But that's the gist of what's going on there. So now I'm going to play an intro over this, I guess. That was how this loop started. If you want to get this preset, you can grab it in the folder. It's just called drums, because that's what the idea was. Hopefully that's vaguely interesting to the 1 or 2 people that asked how I was doing this. That's how you can do it yourself. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers. Oh, if you wanted to like and subscribe, you could. Catch you in a bit.